Welcome back.
Hi.
We're so glad to see you again.
We've been waiting.
In this video, we're going to get the results of the blind test, the 1967 Deluxe Reverb presets and captures on Line 6 devices. We used HX Stomp, Quad Cortex, TONEX, dual TONEX pedals actually, because we got a stereo pedal board running into all this stuff.
Heart panned.
TONEXs and Axe-FX, the fractal modeling. In this video, I actually listened to Bradford played all the clips for me in a jumbled up order that I did not know. So I took notes. What is A? What is B? What is C? What is D? We're going to hear what I think, and we're going to see if you got it right as well. This is the reveal video. So if you haven't already, watch our blind test on these 4 units, HX Stomp, Axe-FX III, Quad Cortex, and TONEX, where we compare running pedals and effects into these things to see how the amp models respond or captures.
Yes.
Featuring a 1967 Deluxe Reverb.
Yes.
Links below if you want any of those presets.
Basically, here's how it went. You know, we recorded.
Yeah.
It was direct. We reamped, so it eliminated the human necessity, so we wouldn't like mess anything up. And that was fun. We were going to showcase it to you, and then we were like, well, why don't we like have some fun and like let somebody get a reveal? So AC30 video, Brian played samples, took notes. I listened. That was fun. I like had a lot of fun.
You listened blind.
Yes, I had no idea.
Just like you guys.
Yes. And that was fun. And so Brian, I just sat down. I played the clips in a certain order.
Yeah.
And now Brian's going to tell me what he thinks.
And before we do, we're going to let you listen one more time. They're labeled A, B, C, D.
Yes.
And after you hear them, we're going to tell you which one is which.
Let's go.
All right, Bradford, I've got notes.
What did you think, Brian?
This was so hard. All of them sound awesome. They all sound really, really good.
They do.
When I listened to the clean samples, like without any of the effects...
I didn't take notes as good as you probably did, because you're a scientist. So.
I wrote one note down. They all sound the same. Now, there are differences. I'm not to say they all sound exactly the same. There are some differences, but they all sound... And here's the thing. The captures are captures of the amp itself, right?
Right.
And then the tone match presets are designed to sound just like the amp. So if they don't all sound pretty much the same, like with a guitar going in playing clean, then we didn't do a very good job making the presets. Yeah. So I think we did a pretty good job making the presets. I could not tell which one was which. I have no thoughts.
I said this to you while we were doing this. A deluxe reverb and a large majority of Fender's catalog, or a lot of Fender's catalog, are a lot of people choose them because like they're a little more sterile, a little more plain, right?
They have that beautiful clean tone.
Yeah, and so when they overdrive, it's a little like so. When we were doing this, I mentioned this to Brian. I was like, I feel like this one's going to be harder, at least on the clean tone. I was pretty set. If you watch the AC30 video, I was not really. Like, I was set what I thought after the first playing sample.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I made like, I was like, okay, so I'm going to go with my gut, what I thought. And I made a change. And I was like, I thought the AC30 was easier.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you props already. I was like, I think you had the harder one.
Okay.
So, but that's good. I want to hear more.
Okay, so we then listened to all of the driven, like, with all the effects.
All the effects, yeah.
And that's where these units sort of, like, start to separate. Right, some of them sound a little more amp-like with effects going into them and stuff. So here, first of all, I'll tell you what I think is what.
Okay.
And then I'll give you some thoughts. So I thought D was HX Stomp.
Oh, you're going backwards. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Well, it's because I don't know what A is.
Oh, okay.
So I thought D was HX Stomp.
Okay.
I thought B was Axe-FX.
Okay.
And then A and C, I thought they could be TONEX or Quad Cortex, either one.
Okay.
All right, so here's why I thought that.
This is interesting.
So A, the note that I had written down for A is it sounds more open with effects. Like, it sounds like they bloomed a little better, more open. It could also be they were perceived to be louder. So like the samples with effects. We normalized everything so that they were all at the same level.
And you thought A and C you had A and C interchanged. What were those again? I'm sorry.
I thought they could be TONEX or Quad Cortex.
Okay.
Because I thought they sounded the best.
Okay.
I thought A and C sounded the best.
Okay.
And
interesting.
I think like the capture stuff sounds.
This is really funny.
Because they're clearly not.
It's just funny to see like just. Yeah. Brian and I we could talk about this kind of stuff all day. Brian and I have kind of like become one with like our ears.
Our ears, yes.
And we typically think like if one of us says like, yeah, I hear this, I don't like too much, or I want to add this. Typically the other's like, I'm
curious what your thoughts are.
I like that.
Knowing what was what.
Yeah, it was funny sitting there knowing because like I was listening and I knew what it was and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So B. I wrote, sounds a little dark or choked. I think and I thought that was Axe-FX. Because I remember when we made all this stuff, the Axe-FX was like darker than the rest of them. And even when we turned the treble up.
We kept tweaking it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like and I don't know whether this is like the real amp or not. This is where I don't have enough experience with the real amp. It naturally compressed everything down to me a little more. And so maybe that means it's more like the real amp. And maybe that means it's not. I don't know. But I said I thought that's Axe-FX.
Okay.
And then C, I wrote down, it sounds like A.
Okay.
It's very amp-like in how it responds to effects. Very open.
Okay.
Things bloomed. Right? Again, it was perceived to be a little louder. But again, maybe that means it doesn't. Maybe that's not like the real. And now I'm totally confusing myself here.
I did the same thing as I was explaining to you out loud. I was like, wait a second.
It's hard. D, I said that's HX Stomp. And the reason I said it sounds like HX Stomp is because I've used Helix and HX Stomp a lot over the years, probably more than any other unit. Though that and Axe-FX are the most used things I've ever in my playing. It felt to me like it was a little more maybe brittle sounding than the rest.
Yeah.
And I feel like it didn't have like that 3-dimensional quality that the other units in my mind have.
Yeah. And I think I've always said
Right,
too,
now
I felt
can't
like
wait to hear what's what.
I've always said that I felt like line 6 sounds really good within its own ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I haven't been the biggest fan of running pedals into it.
I've run pedals into Stomp
are you
a handful of times, and I'm always shocked at how awesome it sounds.
It's very good. It's just it's
so good with pedals.
Are you picking up though that I'm acknowledging that you were right on that one?
I was right.
Yeah, on that one you were right.
So D is HX Stomp.
D is HX
Well,
Stomp.
at least I got one of them.
Yes. Okay, so
Clearly not the others.
no, I didn't say that.
Okay.
So you were also correct on B being Axe-FX.
Oh, okay.
You were like me. Well, no, I was different. You at least
feeling
like
a
had
little
your
like Rob Chapman.
You had
over
your
here.
flip flop right in the sense that like you knew one was quad Cortex and one was TONEX.
Yeah.
It was
I guess
interesting.
I haven't committed yet to A and C, have I?
And I haven't answered it. Have
And
I?
I should probably commit before you
You should. You want to lock an answer in?
I'm going to say, I'm going to lock in that.
It's interesting that you said that they seemed more natural because they're the only capture devices.
I know.
And you thought that, so that was an interesting.
And I literally
I wish
thought-
I had thought to take notes like you did because I
Yeah.
just listened and tried to answer. So that's cool to hear that that's why you thought that.
I
Because
thought A and C were the capture devices, TONEX.
yeah,
and
that's
Cortex.
that. I should have like listened with that kind of mindset. We'll do another round of these.
And I also have played pedals mostly into those two things.
Yeah.
Actually, mostly into quad Cortex more than anything.
So what do you think's what?
So I think A is quad Cortex and C is TONEX.
Dang, Brian, you just nailed. You got all of them right.
I am Rob Chapman.
That is awesome.
Rob,
Dang.
I'll see you at NAMM. We can talk about this.
Way to go, Brian. Bravo.
That was kind of a guess, though.
It doesn't matter if you guessed all the lottery numbers, they don't take away money because you say you guessed. Brian gets to buy dinner tonight.
Oh my goodness, I'll do it. Wait, what?
All right, that was probably blowing out the microphone. All right, thoughts, Brian. What else you got?
They all sound so good.
They do.
I mean, so
do.
good. And we said this in the last video, the AC31, but it's worth saying again. I don't think that tone is the thing that you should decide what to buy based on,
Yeah,
because they're all very, very close to the real amp.
they are.
And Riggs can comment whether he thinks they really respond like his Deluxe.
Yeah, it's
This is all
unfortunate.
based on Riggs Taylor's
It's
Deluxe.
unfortunate that his name sounds like gear because you may be thinking that we're talking about all the Riggs.
Riggs
No,
is Riggs.
We're talking about Riggs Taylor, our
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
Riggs Taylor. Yes,
He let us borrow the amp. to
it's
make
his
the presets.
67 Deluxe Reverb.
So I think that a buying decision should come down to other factors like feature set, form factor, these kinds of things. Now, we also talked about this. It's not possible for us really to let you experience the feel of these units.
no,
And that's
the way we did
that's
it.
a thing.
Well, the way we did
It was
even
impossible
we
for
couldn't.
us.
Yeah, we couldn't
because we
perceive it.
reamped.
Yeah, we eliminated that aspect.
Yeah, we did. So they all sound so close to the amp. I thought that in my mind ahead of time, I thought there's going to be a bigger difference between them with like all the stuff running into them.
Yeah,
And
I did too.
they're very close. In fact, when we were when Bradford was playing the clips and I was listening, I was just like, every time one came on, I was like, that sounds so good.
Yeah.
that was what I said. Yeah. It sounded like, man, that sounds great. And I did you agree with me that the Axe-FX sounded the most different compared to the other ones?
It was weird because so my logic behind thinking in the AC30 video, I thought what was Fractal was TONEX. And in my mind, that was TONEX because it seemed the most like amp-like.
But that was Fractal.
And so in my mind, yes, it was. I guess that was what I was thinking. That was the most different.
You know what it is, Bradford? It's those fragile harmonics existing in a crystal lattice, but the crystal lattice is emulating the tube.
I don't even know what that is, man. Is that like double rainbow?
This is yeah.
Like double rainbow.
This is why
all the
tube
way.
amps are better than solid state amps. Digital modeling didn't even exist when Dumble made that weird statement.
Oh, is that him?
That was him.
That's it. That suits him.
Yeah, so I think you can't go wrong with any of these things.
No.
And, I think that it's commonly maybe, the perception is that line 6, it comes in last in the tone department. Like, all the capture stuff is much newer gen tech, whatever.
There's that. Yeah.
The Fractal stuff is like at least 2 times the money.
Yeah, if you want an Axe-FX III with all the buttons,
an FC12 and an expression pedal,
that will let you utilize the thing just like a Helix. It's virtually twice as much.
It's more.
Is it more now?
Well, the Helix came down.
That's right.
It's 1,500 versus 3,200.
And
it's crazy.
What's crazy is I don't think I will give the edge to Fractal in sounds.
It sounds better,
but it does not sound twice as much better.
I think it sounds that much, almost imperceptibly better. Like I was kind of guessing.
Yeah.
Educated guessing. Like you can't go wrong with this stuff. And if you have an HX Stomp and you're thinking, should I sell this for TONEX? Well, maybe. There's different things to consider when it comes to capture versus modeling. We're going to make a video about that as well.
Yeah.
But these things all sound awesome.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Please let us know. If you were here just to be entertained, some people are probably just...
I was personally entertained.
I was entertained.
This was a lot of fun.
This was a lot of fun. Let us know if you were right, all that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
If you're watching this because you're trying to be like educated and you were hoping to hear something that was like clear as day gonna make you buy one, if you did, actually, I'd like to know.
Well, it's also going to be interesting because many of you guys watching this are probably on like phones and stuff.
That's also true.
And the way those speakers replicate what we're hearing is often very different than the studio monitors in this room with all the sound treatment. Yeah. So listen with good headphones or through good monitors.
Yeah, we say that at the end of the video. But if you were watching this for educational purposes, one thing, Brian, you were hitting on it. Tone is not the only thing. We have a whole video. I mentioned this in the end of the AC30 video. We have like this video we did. It's 50 minutes long, and we chopped it up. You could watch the 8-minute version if you want. And it's like pros and cons of each unit, like tactile reasons, like workflow. We talked about sounds and effects. We talked about options. We talked about editors, anything like that. And we included, it was Axe. It was Kemper, Quad Cortex. TONEX wasn't a thing yet, actually.
No,
a little different anyways, because it's not an all-in-one unit. The video is really more about the all-in-one units.
Yeah.
Helix, whatnot. Check that video out. There's a whole 50-minute video where you can hear like way into the weeds. And then if you really like want to watch the 8-minute video, it's like, if this is the most important thing to you, grab this unit.
Yeah. I
if
forgot that we made that.
Yeah.
Condensed version.
Well, we just that was like that was the recap. That was like the end of the video, the culmination of everything, and we made it separate so people could. So if that interests you, if that's what you're looking for, tone is not everything when it comes to buying these modelers, but
no, it is not.
Let us know if you got another amp type you'd like us to check out.
We can do this again.
Yeah, we were thinking, we probably got to do like a C30, matchless C30.
Yeah. That's a staple in the praise and worship world.
I think we should probably do like a JTM 45 or something.
That'd be cool.
We'll see.
Or a Plexi.
A Plexi as well. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching.
Subscribe if you haven't already.
Please.
More of this kind of stuff coming.
And if you would like to get the 67 Deluxe Reverb in your unit, link is below.
See ya.
See you.